How you doing? My name is Wallace Gator Bradley, and I'm the host of the Bradley Report. I'm also the president of United in Peace, Inc. Have an interesting show for you today. Going to be kind of short, tight, and right on point about the race and those who's in the race for the congressional district seat within the 1st District. The seat that Bobby Rush now holds, and I've held for a while, but he made a decision that he was no longer going to run. February the 7th was my birthday, and I want to say to God be the glory. I want to say that for 2 reasons. Jonathan Jackson officially entered the race on February the 7th. And I'm going to share some things with you about that. First off, I want to say that the issues that I'm speaking about on this show, was put together by none other than the executive director of this show, who happened to be the producer. She helped me get the issues together. She's also the chairman of United Peace, Inc., none other than my wife, Terry Marsh Bradley. And the technical guy that makes everything possible is Brother Omari. So without further ado, let me bring this to you. To God be the glory. This is my story. My brother, Omari, yes. Jonathan Jackson, the son of Reverend Jesse Jackson, kicks off his congressional bid in a crowded Democratic field. That's key and very profound, because at his campaign speech, hold it right there, Brother Omar. Could you put it on the top screen? That way I can read it better. Come up some more. You come up some more. Right there. Right there. Thank you, sir. The thing that's important is that whomever, it's 13 people that's running in the race, and whomever the people elect, they gonna have to be able to hit the ground running in order to bring anything back to the 1st Congressional District in a year. I give them a year. They should be able to bring something back. But you need to know who's there. You need to know the players that's in Washington. Jonathan Jackson, the son of Reverend Jesse Jackson, on Monday, February the 7th, kicked off his congressional campaign in the crowded Democratic primary to replace Representative Bobby Rush with his main assets, his father, the Rainbow Push Coalition, and a potential national fundraising network. What makes that so wonderful is that he has his parents standing behind him, someone that helped groom him. He grew up in an organization, Rainbow Push Coalition, started with Bread Basket, became Push, then became Rainbow Push, but he has a lifetime of service. I know him. A lot of people know him because he's been on the forefront to help free the wrongfully convicted. He has not only boots on the ground, but his feet are on the ground with the individuals. It's not like, in my opinion, everyone else's opinion that I talk to, it's not even though he come from a famous family, he don't have a big head syndrome. He talked with the people. He deal with the people. He joked with the people. He signified with the people and everything else. He didn't realize that this I know personally. About 30 days ago, or maybe a month ago, or a month and a half ago, it wasn't even on his radar to run for Congress. But one of the things that he has shared with me, he's helped so many get elected. And when the people come to him about the concerns that's happening, because they weren't getting any kind of redress from elected officials or appointed officials, he would go to them and give them a note and say, hey, your constituent is asking about this and wondering why you haven't said nothing about that. And he came to the conclusion, instead of him constantly taking notes to elected officials, he decided to get in the business of writing a memo to himself on how he could better serve the people, and that is by running. He made mention that so far there's 15 Democrats in the race as of Monday. They have registered with the Federal Election Commission to run in the June 28th primary for the 1st Congressional District, seeking Rush's will be a seat that Rush will be vacating next year after 15 terms. Democrats are scrambling for what may well be a once-in-a-generation open seat in the heavily Democratic district, stretching from parts of South Shore to the southern suburbs, all the way to Kankakee. Johnson's messaging is, in his remarks at the Amalgamated Transit Union Local 308 Hall located at 1204 Southwestern Avenue, he emphasized the place in black local and national political history. The 1st Congressional District holds right there, sending black lawmakers to Congress since 1929. That's Oscar DePriest, William Dawson, Ralph Metcalfe, Harold Washington, Charlie Hayes, and Rush. And a part of Jackson's rollout strategy appears to be to position himself as seeking the logical or the logistical heir to this storied list of black men going to Congress from the 1st Congressional District. He knows the working of Washington, D.C., because you get there, you're going to have to know something. You're going to have to know somebody, not just a person right there. One of the things that I admire Jonathan for, he thanked Rush for his lifetime of service to the community. And he knows Congressman Rush stands on the shoulders of Charlie Hayes, a great man, a union leader. The thing about this whole piece is 2022 going to be a very important election. Senator Emil Jones, former Senate President Emil Jones, came in and endorsed Congressman Rush. Let me see if I can get that. But anyway, Senator Emil Jones, Commissioner Moore, Cook County Commissioner Moore. Else was there? Well, there was a lot of people, but those are the only elected officials that's there, that's sincere, that's helping them, especially Moore. And myself and others, from steppers to hip-hop artists, from community activists, from the police torture victims, like Mark Clemens and Mark Maxson, and I can go on and on and on, gonna be with him in support of his election. We're not beating down on any other candidates running. Everybody has a right to run and may the best person win. You know, one thing that's we got to be constant for. Thanks, Brother Marty. One thing else, something else I want to make mention to you. In this race, there's also June 28th, there's going to be a lot of judicial candidates that's going to be running. And next week, I'm going to do a show on that. Also, there's, yes, it's right here. Play that for me. Thank you, brother. All right, appreciate you.
The Masked Singer continues its wild streak.
The game just changed.
Catch up now. You won't believe who will be unmasked next.
The most famous guest ever.
The Masked Singer's all new Wednesdays.
Jonathan Jackson, son of the Reverend Jesse Jackson, is making it official. He is running for Congress. Jackson officially launched his campaign for Illinois' 1st congressional district today. He is running for the seat held by soon-to-be retired Congressman Bobby Rush. During his press conference, Jackson laid out his agenda should he be elected.
As we talk about raising wages to $15 an hour, which it should be, we can't have the cost of child care at $20 an hour. That's not math, that's arithmetic. It's very simple. It doesn't work for the working families.
Jackson is joining a very crowded race to replace Rush. At least 13 candidates are running for that slot, including Alderwoman Pat Dowell and community activist Jamal Cole.
You know, it comes to the point, like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of great people that's in the race. But the people are gonna make the decision on my opinion, just my opinion, on who can talk to Maxine Waters or Pelosi.
Hey, Wallace Gator Bradley.
Yeah, play that for me right there. This is when he let me know that he was gonna run. We was at the Martin Luther King celebration in Frostmore at a celebration for Martin Luther King Day. I want you to hear this right here out of his mouth.
And I'm the host of the Bradley Report. I'm also a registered voter. And I'm also a friend of this gentleman that I'm about to present to you. I know his vision, I know his passion. I just want you to hear it from his mouth.
Hey,
I'm hoping
Gator.
that you run, brother.
Good to
How
see
you feeling? You too, man. There's a lot of talk in the street that you're considering getting into the race. And for my viewing audience, I'm from the streets to the suites. So my ears get big. If you see me flying around like an elephant, it's because I'm hearing too much. So the thing is this. Could you let my viewing audience know what your plans are in the future?
Right now, I'm here at the South Suburban King Day event talking to friends, reconnecting with some allies. I've never run for political office before. I'm going to make a decision in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Bobby Rush exited the race for Congress of the 1st Congressional District 2 weeks ago today. And so this has been a whirlwind of a change and a shift. But it's been exciting, and I'll let people know. I'm not going to drag it out.
Right.
So.
Hey, man, I appreciate you because I know you. I know you believe in the 5 Ps. Proper plan prevents poor performance. One thing I do know, anybody that's running for that congressional seat has to know that they have to have relationships. It ain't just jumping in, because once you get elected, you become like a rookie to Congress. And if you don't have relationships, no, I'm not his campaign manager. I'm just telling you what I know because I go to Washington often. With that, I want to say, hey, man, appreciate you. To God be the glory, man.
Keep up the great work,
I'm in too deep. All right, man.
You know, there's so much that's happening in Washington. I'm not saying that those that's running for office not aware of what's happening. I just know that when you get there, it's like on-the-job training for everyone else that's running, except for Jonathan, in my opinion. Like he stated, he knows what committee he would like to be on. And he would have a chance to get on it. Like the committee that Maxine Waters is on, the one that Chuy Garcia is a part of it. And that's the one that's dealing with the money. Because that's the part of his profession. He knows about public safety. And he got a plan and a solution, part of a solution, or a plan that will become a part of a solution, because I believe everyone that has an idea on trying to bring this violence down has an opinion that need to be respected, and then come to the compromise of the opinions to form a common sense solution. Because you know what we did in the 90s. Because now everyone is saying they have a 90s problem when it comes to this senseless violence. So you need to have someone that know that you got to deal with the resources and deal with the experts that work together. He know how everyone that came together in the 90s, the street organizations, the churches, the business people, the community at large, everyone worked on one premise, and that was the code: zero tolerance for senseless shootings and killings, the raping of women and children, the disrespect and the robbery and the abuse of seniors and elders in the community. And everyone knew that anybody that violated that or assisted someone in that act, they got ostracized from the community. And everyone that played a part in this code being enforced had a part to play. The law enforcement had a part to play once the community ostracized that person, not because they wanted to, but because of the individuals that were doing the nefarious things made the decision to continue with that attitude. And they did their job. You saw in the news how when an 8-year-old got killed over in the Hispanic community, and they used all the tools the full concept of zero tolerance. I know because I talked to the alderman before the 8-year-old got killed. He was asking me the question, Gator, why aren't you bringing what you know so that the mayor can hear you? And I say, they be calling the meetings, I be hearing the meetings, but they don't want the expert to do it. And I'm saying this humbly, I'm not the only one. There's some other people that was working together in the 90s that for some reason the various administrations don't want to listen to them, be it state, county, federal government, don't want to listen to them. So therefore, they throwing millions and millions of dollars at what is perceived to be good programs. But they're not turning the tide on the senseless violence when there's programs that could be working along with their programs. And it will make a difference. You know, I know Jonathan know about it because he was a part of it, helping us put it together to go around the country. Like he said, he's a national leader within his own right. He was blessed to have great parents. He understands the sacrifices. He's been in the rooms. He's been there to look, listen, and learn, and form his own opinion that if he had to become an elected official, he wants to provide what he has to provide for the constituents of whatever office he was representing. I know he'd make a wonderful congressman. And I hope you, our viewing audience, would agree with me. Because in this game, DC ain't like city council, ain't like Springfield, it's not like the county government or the city government. And that's not to say that all those entities are not important in their own right. But he can pick up a phone and get something done from an advocate perspective now. And as a congressman, he has to become responsible for a lot of people and their concerns. And I believe that he will be the man to do it. Now we're gonna get off that. But we're still talking politics. I know you're seeing on the news and you're hearing how they're making all kind of moves across the country to suppress, in my opinion, the African American vote. It's to the point where we can't afford to have a Republican to be the governor. And we definitely can't afford to have a Republican to become the Secretary of State. Because if they do, they're going to do like the other 19 states and change the voting laws as we know them. And their whole push is if a person get elected that they feel shouldn't have the seat, they will reverse that because they will have the right. What do you mean by that, Gator? I'm glad you asked. If the laws that they pushing now would have been in order, they would have said that Trump did not lose the election. Even though Biden won, they would have said those numbers didn't count, and let's go with Trump. Thank you, Brother Mike, right here. The Supreme Court, could you bring down a little bit, Amari? No, come down. Come down a little bit more. Right here. The Supreme Court has crossed the Rubicon. What that means is this. Behind the census count in Alabama, it showed where there was a possibility that another congressional district could have became a black congressional district. But Alabama changed the rules and went to working with the map to make it impossible for that to happen. I want you to hear me and pay attention what I'm saying in Illinois. Why it's important to fight for us to have the right to vote. Why it's important to re-elect J.B. Pritzker. I know he got his faults, but if a Republican become a governor with the speed of Ronna, because that's the only way he gonna be there. When you look at the little brother from Aurora that they pushing, but when you look at the people, because they're showing you in your face, the same individuals that was behind Ronna, this time, in my opinion, they got an individual there that would really be no more than a puppet to the same individuals, from Ken Griffin to the other individuals that's a part of that man's campaign team. They all was a part of Ronna. When I see JB's commercial, and that sister is speaking about the child care centers, that when Ronna became governor, there was no budget for 2 years. A lot of those centers end up out of business because they couldn't get paid for the service. For the last 2 years, Governor J.B. Pritzker was trying to find, and the legislative bodies was trying to find all kind of ways to help pay those bills. And they have. Took them 2 years to come from up under what Ronna did while they was going through a pandemic. We can't afford to have a Republican to become the Secretary of State. Personally, I believe Alexis, you know, this would be the best guy. You may feel that he won't be. But at the end of the day, don't let it be a Republican. And I know we got African American Republicans, Hispanic Republicans. But you see where the Republican committee, whatever that is, made a decision that that insurrection wasn't criminal or none of that. Okay? You see where Come down, son. Come down. Come on, come down some more. Let's see. Yes, let's see that right there. Okay. No, go back. Go back, Omar. It was the one. No, go back. You know when you came down and you saw the 3 different stories. I want the one with Come over to the 3rd story. Come down. Come over. Right. Come over. Right there. Right there. 3 words that sparked the GOP firestorm were not part of early draft of Cheney's and Kinzinger resolution. And that resolution was put together. They got censored. Right there. Thanks, right there. The 3 words about the United States Capitol attack have sparked a firestorm inside the Republican Party. The Republican National Committee legitimated what happened when they attacked the Capitol a year ago on January 6th. They said that those individuals that did that, it was legitimate political discourse, were not included in early drafts of the resolution to censor Representative Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger. A person involved in the process tells CNN. Okay? But those words were added to the document later within the week at a meeting of the Republican National Committee in Salt City. One early draft which denounced the 2 lawmakers for taking part in a House Select Committee investigation into the January 6, 2021 attack, described the inquiry as a Democratic-led persecution of ordinary citizens engaged in nonviolent and legal political discord. We all saw what happened. Okay? We all saw what happened in Washington, D.C. And that was no legal political discord. They was talking about let's kill the vice president. Let's kill Pelosi. All the elected officials was hiding. 5 people died. Police officers, 700 people that got arrested. Now, they finding out from the papers that was in the archive that they had to get permission from the court to get. They realized that Trump and other Republican elected officials had planned a coup to the point that they was trying to get the NSA, Homeland Security, the Department of Justice to be a part of their scheme to go and take the voting machines or the votes away. They had a part of the scheme where they had people signing legal documents fraudulently, like they were electors that were elected to represent the various states. And how they got in there, they was gonna say that the votes that went to Biden was really votes that went to Trump. Y'all hearing it, y'all seeing it? And what the Republican National Party did, they made it where the Republican Party owned up to the insurrection and the attack on the Capitol as a political party. And when McConnell found out what they was doing, he had a problem with that. Other Republican senators, they had a problem with that. They said that the Republican National Committee overstepped their bounds by attacking the two congressmen that's Republican that's on the committee because they stand up for what's right. You got Republican, it's gonna come out. You got Republican congressmen that was meeting with the Oath Keepers and all them type of people with the plan to overthrow this government. They telling the big lie, y'all see the lie. Y'all see the lie, y'all hear the lie. You hear it so much that you're saying it just gotta be true, you knowing it. I've never heard of a true lie. It's either a lie or the truth. You got Republicans, be they black or white or Hispanic, that believes to this day that the election was stolen from Trump. So this is the test that you give any Republican that's running for office. Do you believe that the election was stolen from Trump? Do you believe that Biden was rightfully elected by 80 million people? Do you believe that what Giuliani and the other congressman that was meeting with the group talking about stop the steal? And most importantly, do you believe that people have a right to vote? Do you believe in the suppression laws that's being passed by Republican governors and legislative bodies across this country? Do you support the new Jim Crow? And they ain't gonna answer you. They gonna run and duck and hide. There's a civil war in the Republican Party now behind what the Republican National Committee did. They legitimized the criminals that attacked the Capitol. They're talking about now getting rid of, making it where a sitting congressman, I can't think of his name, he's in a wheelchair, shouldn't have a right by the 14th Amendment in the Constitution because he was a part of sedation or part of the insurrection where they attacked the Capitol. I gotta cut it short, but I'm telling you, I ain't hating on Republicans. I'm just telling you that what they doing is destroying this country. And they following Trump And they're going to realize a lot of people going to end up in jail for breaking the laws. And a lot of people are praying that he end up in jail. But they know there's a chance that he don't go, but a whole lot of other people going. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to leave it alone. When you see how the white people that was involved in these acts, their family members turned them in, members on the job turned them in, African Americans, they're talking about they blacks for Trump, and they're Republicans and they believe in that Trumpism, they gonna come at you with a vengeance so strong and powerful. You gonna see, whenever they do right within the justice system that we call right, where everybody that do wrong got to go to jail, especially if they're white or whatever it is, they gonna come and give an African American way more time and less consideration for the same crime. You hearing it there? So I'm telling everybody, vote, don't choke. If you're in the 1st Congressional District, elect Jonathan L. Jackson for Congress. Re-elect J.B. Prescott for governor. Re-elect Tony Pratt Winkle for the president of the county board. And I want to say, to God be the glory. That's my story. And next week, we're going to talk about judges. Peace.